Good evening. We appreciate your presence here today as we celebrate Liana Boyer's achievement of receiving the highest honor of American Heritage Girls, the Stars and Stripes Award. My name is Jenny Johnson. I am Ohio 3124's Troop Coordinator, and I am pleased to serve as your Master of Ceremonies this evening. Rhonda gave me free rein now to talk as much as I want about Liana with no script, which is probably a dangerous thing. But I do want to highlight a few things many of you already know, but some of you may not know. We were blessed to have Liana and her mother join our troop when Liana was in 7th grade. But Liana has been an American Heritage Girl since she was in the 1st grade. When she was in the 4th grade, she made the pronouncement that she would one day achieve the Stars and Stripes Award. And today we get to honor that commitment that she made all those years ago, because she did it. It's such an honor to have this. This is not your run-of-the-mill award. American Heritage Girls has been in existence for 25 plus years, or 26 years officially. It's right around that. And they only have 839 recipients worldwide. Liana is the 4th one from our troop, and our troop has been around nearly as long as American Heritage Girls. We are one of the first troops to exist. So this is a very prestigious honor that she has not only earned for herself, but earned for our troop. I think it's a wonderful thing for our troop to be able to be witness to this entire process, and it truly is a process. Now, because she joined our troop in 7th grade, I didn't get to know Liana very well because I was not in leadership over that age group girl, so I didn't have a lot of personal interaction with her until really just about the last year. And she is a bit of a quiet girl at times. If you haven't gotten a chance to know her, she can come off as wanting to be in the background. But my goodness, when I had the pleasure of sitting in on her board of review and listening to her take ownership of her project and present herself in such a professional and knowledgeable way, I had gained respect for this young woman, and I cannot wait to see where life leads her next. We want to take this time to recognize some very special guests who are with us tonight. We would ask you to raise your hands or stand when your organization is listed as people who are representing that organization. We have local, state, and federal dignitaries with us tonight, or their representatives. Please raise your hand. Thank you. We have AHG National Leadership Team members present tonight. Thank you. We have Butler Tech and Lakota Local School District representatives here with us. Thank you. We have Liana's church leadership here with us this evening. And Liana's family, they'll wave at us from the windows because they're still outside. We haven't welcomed them in quite yet. We also have a whole slew of AHG members and leaders, not only from our troop, but all across Cincinnati and some from Michigan. So if you are an AHG member, raise your hand. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for investing your time, your talents, and your resources into Liana. The Boyer family invites you to join them for refreshments immediately following this ceremony. If you did not have time to sign Liana's memory book at the entrance, please find time during this reception to do so. The book will remain outside the doors of the sanctuary. I present our guest of honor, Emiliana Lynne Boyer, escorted by her family, Jordan, Rhonda, and AJ. We are ready for our color guard.
Audience, please rise for the presentation of the flags. Color guard, attention. Troop salute, those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Flag bearers, advance the colors. Flag bearers, post the colors. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Mrs. Peapon, will you please lead us in prayer?
Please bow your heads. Our precious triune God, the King of kings and Lord of lords, our most gracious God who is sovereign over all, we thank you. We thank you for gathering this American Heritage Girls family and friends this evening to celebrate. Yes, to celebrate one of your beloved daughters, Liana Bohrer, only the fourth candidate from this troop to receive her Stars and Stripes. What an honor. Liana recognizes that you supplied and still supply all of her needs, though sometimes it might have been hard to see what was coming. Though distant at one point, she clearly now clings to you. She loves you, and she knows that all of her accomplishments are actually your accomplishments through her. We're thrilled to be here to rejoice with those who rejoice, and we pray that all we may speak and do throughout our time together this evening may bring you honor and glory and praise. In the precious name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Color guard, retreat. Color guard, honor your colors. Color guard, return to ranks. Color guard, at ease.
You may be seated. We have a special guest tonight, Charlotte, Liana's 2021 AHG pen pal from Michigan. Will you please come forward? For those not familiar with American Heritage Girls, our organization's mission, and if I may, we have added a little twist here in our troop. Girls, the mission is to love God, cherish our family, right, our mission is to build women of integrity through service to God, through to our family, our community, and our country. Our mission statement lights the way to fulfilling this purpose. Charlotte, you may light the candle. To meet this mission, the girls are taught and admonished to live by our AHG oath and creed. One unit leader from each level of our troop will present our AHG oath.
When Liana was joined American Heritage Girls in her first grade year, she was a tenderheart. She was taught the AHG oath that begins, "As an American Heritage Girl, I promise to love God."
She leveled up to the Explorer unit during her 4th grade year. The oath she memorized was strengthened by encouraging her to take the needed steps to make it part of her life. As an American Heritage Girl, I promise to cherish my family.
Her progression to the pioneer level happened during her junior high years. At this point, she began to teach the HG oath to the troop's younger girls and then to model it by a living example. As an American Heritage Girl, I promise to honor my country.
Being at the high school level and now a patriot, Liana had come to know a life lived by the AHG oath and creed is the standard she wants for herself. To earn the Stars and Stripes Award, Liana received personal references outside of AHG and her family that testify of her successes in applying AHG's oath and creed in her everyday life. As an American Heritage Girl, I promise to serve in my community. All AHG members, please stand, raise the AHG sign, and say the oath with us. As an American Heritage Girl, I promise to love God, cherish my family, honor my country, and serve in my community.
Will the girls lighting the creed candles please come forward? The AHG creed is made up of characteristics each girl promises to live by. The American Heritage Girls believe a girl must establish a standard of behaviors before being the best she can be. When a girl strives to become a woman of integrity, she learns who God created her to be and how to walk accordingly. These girls will present the 10 characteristic points of our AHG creed.
As an American Heritage Girl, I promise to be compassionate.
I light the candle of compassion. May its light remind us to be warm and caring to all.
Helpful. I light the candle of helpfulness. May its light remind us to be generous and thoughtful to those around us. Honest.
I light the candle of honesty. May its light remind us to always be truthful, keep our promise, and live a life of honor.
Loyal.
I light the candle of loyalty. May its light remind us to be faithful, to stay true to God, family, friends, community, and country.
Perseverant.
I light the candle of perseverance. May its light remind us to push on towards our goal in the leading of the Lord, despite obstacles or hardships.
Pure.
I light the candle of purity. May its light remind us to keep our minds and bodies clean and holy and to seek the friendship of those who also live pure before the Lord.
Resourceful.
I light the candle of resourcefulness. May its light remind us to use our time, materials, and finances and talents wisely.
Respectful.
I light the candle of respectfulness. May its light remind us to be courteous and hold others in high regard.
Responsible.
I light the candle of responsibility. May its light remind us to be accountable and dependable in what the Lord has given us. Reverent.
I light the candle of reverence. May its light remind us that we have received God's grace, His underserved and unearned love. May that knowledge cause us to be humble, faithful, and live in a way that honors Him.
Thank you all, girls. When Liana decided to become a Stars and Stripes candidate, she approached us to ask if she could have Mrs. Lou Ellen Doty from Troop Ohio 0702 as her Stars and Stripes mentor. For over 2 years, Mrs. Doty has worked extensively with Liana. Many hours of paperwork, work days, hours of around the kitchen tables, meetings with vendors, and Liana's benefiting organization. She was a great encourager, cheerleader, advice giver, lending listening ears and kindness. She was a great sounding board to solve the unexpected problems that arose. Liana and her family are thankful for the Dotys. Mrs. Doty, would you please come and share some words?
Liana, we went through a couple of tough years. For anyone who hasn't experienced this at all, it is a process. It's a long process and it's a tough process. When Liana first started this, her project was totally different than what it ended up being. She was going to work with a cat rescue, I believe. And all I could think was, oh, I'm allergic to cats. But we can do this. I just won't tell her that. Thankfully, God led her in a different direction. Into building a garden, which is one of her passions. So Liana is a young lady who has a lot of passions, and you've heard about some of them tonight, but you haven't heard all of them. Animals. She absolutely loves animals, and that's why she's at Butler Tech in that particular program. That's what she does. She works with animals there. And I'm sure you'll hear more about how the garden was to benefit the school, not only the school, but the animals. Let's see, what's some of your other passions? Gardening. Okay, she loved gardening. So this became quite a natural progression for her. But then there's one more passion that any of you who know her well probably know about, and that's roller coasters. This girl loves to ride roller coasters. In fact, her family took a vacation recently that was just to ride roller coasters. So I want you to keep that in mind as you focus on Liana. We had some tough times because, with COVID, things didn't go so smoothly. People couldn't be at the school as much as what they probably could have otherwise. And it was just a pleasure, really. Not all days were easy. I'm not going to lie. They weren't. They were tough. But it was a pleasure to get through this and see the progress that Liana made and the way that she matured through the whole thing. She really did grow. She grew in every way, I think, spiritually. She didn't get any taller, though. But she did grow in all the other good ways, okay? I saw a lot of maturity through the process. That was the big one. And that really makes me happy and proud to have been a part of that. I'm proud to have been involved with that, Liana. And my daughter had gone through this recently too, but I really stayed out of that process because that's what we're supposed to do. So it was a big learning experience for me too. Liana, there were times when it just didn't look like things were possible. How in the world are you going to raise that kind of money? But we prayed about it, and that garage sale was amazing. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing, and I won't go into details about the amount of money that was raised because I really don't remember all that. But she got exactly what she needed and exactly when she needed it. And somebody donated a place to store the things for the yard sale. Somebody donated their time to come pick up the items and bring them over there. It was always God providing exactly what Liana and her project needed, okay? So that was really good. The school, everything went well. The garden was great. I think I was a really tough taskmaster. I was like, right here, where did the screws go? I mean, you said screws, but I don't know. Where do they go? Well, what do you mean? I want a diagram. And she's looking at me like, you're crazy. Just indulge me on this. I think her project got the fastest approval of anything I've ever heard. It's like, was it less than 24 hours? It was submitted, no rewriting, it was approved. So, I'm sorry, not gonna apologize for that. I pushed the young lady and she did it. She did this. This was her project. She did it, and she did it so well. And things didn't go great when we were building. Things got changed. She learned to go with the flow. But Liana, we had a Bible verse, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. And I want you to remember that as you go forward in life. I too want to watch and see all the achievements you have. This is not the pinnacle. This is just something we celebrate now, but I expect to see a lot more in the future. And one thing I also want to tell you besides Philippians 4:13, when you see the tough times in life, arms up, we're going down the hill. This is your roller coaster, okay? Put the arms up and enjoy the ride. Trust in God, you'll get through it.
Thank you to Mrs. Doty. I want to add to what she's saying because she made a good point. Liana, this is 2 years or more in the making. 2 years which we've all been suffering through. 2 years where Many of us in this room have used COVID as an excuse to not have to do something, right? AHG did not lower their standards because everybody was suffering. AHG did not say, oh, well, we'll let this slide because it's hard. They said, this is the standard and you need to rise to it, because if you want to wear that pin, if you want to be counted among the Stars and Stripes recipients, then you have to earn it. It doesn't matter how hard it is. And we've all done hard for the last 2 years. And so she accomplished this in the midst of what's probably the most difficult 2 years any of us in this room have experienced. So congratulations on that. But Mrs. Doty, before you sit down, we would like you to accept this token of appreciation from Liana and our troop. It is a Stars and Stripes mentor pin. Liana's benefiting organization was her school, Butler Tech Natural Science Center. As many of us already know, the junior and senior years in high school are packed with many have-tos and to-dos. This is true for school administration as well. In addition to the busyness of the regular school years, add COVID. That complicated not only Butler Tech's schedule, but also its logistics. Those factors alone would make supporting an added outside project somewhat tricky. If those weren't enough, Butler Tech Natural Science Center knew it was entering into its most extensive building project, tearing down old buildings and rebuilding a new campus that will open in the near future. Nevertheless, juggling all of these, Mr. Helms still agreed to add one more to his to-do list, Liana's American Heritage Girls Stars and Stripes project. Mr. David Holmes is the principal of Butler Tech Natural Science Center, and he is here to share some words.
So my students know I do have to bring up some notes, or else I will tend to ramble a little bit. But I think actually you guys stole all of my thunder. Ms. Doty, I think you explained everything well. So I'll just paint that picture a little bit more for you. So as a school administrator, as a school staff, one of the things that we're dealing with about this time of year, so coming in March, you know, we have fourth quarter coming up, we have tests coming up, the ACTs, we have end of course exams, we have all different things, graduation. We start paying attention to seniors a little bit more, one, to make sure they walk across that stage and get all their requirements, but then two, also to celebrate them a little bit, and then to also make sure they get to that senior ceremony and graduation. Natural Science Center is really a unique campus, so in planning all that, we also have to think about the weather. So something that we have planned outside might have to be in the riding arena. So everything gets changed sometimes on a daily basis. So our students and staff deal with that, and they deal with it very well. We are still working through new district initiatives. So we have all of that just in the course of a normal year. But then as what was stated is, we're informed that we get a new 25,000 square foot building. So I wasn't quite sure how summer would look. I wasn't quite sure how May would look. There were some requests in terms of space. There were some requests in some other things. And it was almost kind of like, I don't know. I can't give you an answer. Or I'll have to try to get you an answer next week. And then, of course, there's that thing called COVID that we've been dealing with. So right in the midst of everything else, I don't even think we knew what each other looked like for the first year. So we all had masks. We were all social distance. In the logistics of the schedule, we were there every other day, so you had to try to plan that and trying to plan volunteers and everything else. So imagine we have all of that going on in the course of a normal year with COVID, with a new building. And then I had a student walk in, and her mom's there, and hands me this 54-page thing that Miss Doty just talked about. And I'm like, yeah, what do you want me to do with that? We need to do something with that on top of everything else? It was very detailed. So 54 pages of knowing where the screw goes, knowing how the garden's going to be laid out, and also just learning a little bit more as I'm reading through it. The reason I'm stressing these things is because these are all the things that you kind of deal with in life, those roller coaster things. These are the things you constantly deal with. But you also need to take the time and enjoy that ride. You also need to know that you're learning from that experience. And that's what really sold me on this, because I was on the verge, I don't know if you guys know, of saying, no, I don't know if we can coordinate this on this campus at this time. And there were a couple times that it was very close. But what I learned through this is how it aligned with what we're trying to do at Butler Tech. That passion, that purpose, that impact, and those conversations that we had as we talked more through this project, that love of animals, the love to try to make something better, the love of our campus, and she had only been there for a semester, but she had fallen in love with it. The purpose, and here's my notes where I do have to make sure I'm saying it right, to gain an understanding of the servant heart required to lead with integrity and humility. In terms of purpose, I don't know that I could have said no to that. And then when she talked about that impact of what she could do for our animals and for our campus for years to come, so long after she's graduated, even after she's graduated from college and different careers or wherever she's going to go, because she's always going to different colleges, she's always doing her internships and co-ops. She has so many things that she's doing, so I don't know where she's going to end up. But even after that time, her legacy will still be on our campus. After I retire, her legacy will still be on our campus. So this is what I want to say to you in terms of thank you, because I've talked to you about how we're trying to integrate those student projects on our campus. This is why I want to say thank you to you. I love the garden, and like I said, that will be a legacy. But this is what you've done for me and our staff in terms of how we improve our program. What we hope is that we can create something for students so that they can create a plan and that they can set a goal and they can work towards that. We know there's going to be adjustments that need to be made because a truck's delivering something this week, because it's raining like on the very first day of the project kickoff, because COVID happens. All these things happen. And she made those adjustments, struggling at first, but as she grew with humility and integrity. Suffering through those struggles at times. So there were definitely those struggles. But what's great for students to learn is to know that there's an obstacle and how you overcome those obstacles. And then, obviously, leaving something behind to make your world a better place. Those are the things that you've done for the Natural Science Center, and we truly appreciate that. You have accomplished all of those things with integrity and humility. What I look forward to now is actually getting plants in the ground. So when the weather breaks a little bit, we've had some snow. Again, this is Ohio, so we will have to make adjustments accordingly. But what I can't wait for is for the first rabbit to be able to eat something that's grown on our campus. And so she's going to be working to finish up that finalized plan so that we can make sure that this continues. So that's been one of the things I've stressed, is making sure that that plan's in place so that this does make an impact on our campus for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Helms. American Heritage Girls began over 26 years ago here in Westchester, Ohio, which I think is the absolute coolest part. You have already heard our mission statement, learned our oath and creed, and have learned a little of Liana's AHG and Stars and Stripes journey. Liana and her family are thankful for all that AHG has added to their lives. Our troop is pleased to present our keynote speaker, Mrs. Patty Garibay, the founder of American Heritage Girls.
Thank you so much. Wow, this is so impressive. I've been to a few of these in my day. Nothing like this. This is beautiful. Kudos, everyone. I really want to thank Mrs. Doty for her, where is she? Right there, for your heart and your love for girls to mentor them. I think Mrs. Carolyn Moore, who happens to be the National Stars and Stripes woman, really would love you on her team. She's recruiting as we speak. And Mr. Helms, I want to thank you for taking Liana under your wing. With all that you had, I can't even imagine that you said yes. That means a lot, just saying yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, it is a pleasure to be here. And I remember meeting Liana probably about 2 years, well, pre-COVID, wasn't it? I think we had our picture taken together. And it was here at North Cincinnati, and that was a real blessing. And I wanted to let you guys know that this is truly a celebration of an amazing accomplishment. As a matter of fact, AHG's Pinnacle Award is called the Stars and Stripes Award. You can't get any higher than this in our program. And it's earned by a very small percentage of girls in comparison to the amount of girls eligible to earn it. To provide a little bit of perspective, AHG is celebrating 27 years of ministry. And having served tens of thousands of girls over those 27 years. However, only 881 girls have earned this award in the lifetime of American Heritage Girl, Liana being number 836, and the 89th in the state of Ohio. So that's pretty amazing. Congratulations. This award, as mentioned by Mrs. Doty, is not for the faint of heart. And Liana, I'm glad you like roller coasters because you were on a virtual one, weren't you? Yeah. Well, it's not meant to be an impossible task. It is meant to bring the candidate on a meaningful and challenging journey. Girls must want to accomplish this goal of earning this award because of an inward motivation, rather than external pressure from their parents or a sibling. And over the last 2 decades, I've noticed that girls who really want to earn this award due to a calling rather than an expectation experience the greatest amount of lessons that I am sure last a lifetime. As executive director, I'm blessed to provide the final review and approval of each Stars and Stripes applicant, all 884 of those, and their project summary review. And I find myself most interested in reading the girls' resume, their what they call the project summary report, what they've learned in AHG, and their spiritual walk essay. That is so intriguing to me, and Liana, I can tell you, you wrote one of the best ones I've ever read. You know why I loved it so much? Because you were authentic. You were real. You didn't make it sound like it was easy to be a teen, because I know it's not. It's difficult. And you presented your challenges as opportunities for growth. You were real about your struggles, and that's what every teen has, every one of them, if they're really real. But you're authentic, and you know, that's gonna bring you very, very far in this world. To be real, to be humble, to say I'm not perfect. I am who I am, and I know that I am chosen by God, and that's what's important. Her knowledge of who she is and whose she is truly remarkable. And in a culture of self-worth, which is measured by social media likes, Liana strives to really ascend that trajectory. As she is so beautifully expressed in her project summary report, AHG has helped her understand her unique value. Liana says, AHG was a place for me to belong and a place where I could be me. It has presented me with many challenges and taught me that I could indeed meet those challenges. And one of those challenges with the Stars and Stripes project for every girl is their writing the report, right? Was that like the worst part? Yeah, they hate to write the report. But in their final written work, inevitably, girls talk about the struggle they encountered for project approval, which is a miracle, Mrs. Doty, that she was approved this quickly, because that Miss Carolyn, she can be tough. But it was a perfect project for her to do. And they talk about the struggle they encounter managing the project in a timely fashion. In this COVID gig, you are so right. So much more difficult to get that project management done. The difficulty in recruiting volunteers, the difficulty in raising money, the difficulty in self-awareness of your own holes in communication, like, oh, I forgot to tell people I needed you here by 9, right? But more importantly, Stars and Stripes recipients share about the miraculous provision of resources when they were ready to call it quits. And Mrs. Doty, when you said that, you brought tears to my eyes, because when you look and you have eyes to see, you will see how God shows up in the smallest ways that end up being the most important part of what we do. Their need to understand their own limitations and to put their burdens at the foot of the cross where they can have complete faith in God's provision is necessary for every candidate. You might say the Stars and Stripes journey is a microcosm, really, of our own life's journey. And if a girl can understand that her provision comes from one source and the necessity to seek him constantly, then I might say that that Stars and Stripes journey is well worth the struggle she endures. So it is an honor and a privilege to personally congratulate Liana and her supported, loving parents, Rhonda and Jordan, and her brother, AJ. I think is he still here? But without your support, this couldn't have happened. I know full well there's a lot of, come on, you can do it, encouragement. And of course, Mrs. Doty and this entire troop. What a beautiful privilege and homage, I mean, really to you. And I hope you will remember this for the rest of your life. All these people care about you. Your pen pal from Michigan, are you kidding me? Now this is a first. I've never seen that before. So that's beautiful. And the leadership of Ohio 3124, I happen to know that charter rep pretty well, and she's pretty amazing. So we really appreciate them and the love and care and guidance that they've given and making a difference in our community and really in our world. You know, I do believe the hand that rocks the cradle does rule the nation. It is so important that women of today are women of integrity to lead this country, to change the trajectory of what's going on today. It is wonderful to see so many staff. Even a member of the National Board of Trustees is here tonight, as well as past Stars and Stripes recipients. I believe Grace, Claire, and now Liana are all here. And it's really wonderful to see that sisterhood supporting you, Liana. So congratulations, and may God bless you richly as you continue to serve him in his holy name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Garibay. It was truly an honor for all of us to have you here with us tonight. Now I would like Melissa Smith, our charter representative, to come forward to officially begin the presentation of the Stars and Stripes Award.
In addition to Liana living at the AHG Oath and Creed, she earned 16 required merit badges specifically needed to meet the American Heritage Girls Stars and Stripes Awards criteria. She completed the Pray, God and Life Religious Recognition Award and held multiple girl leadership positions during her Patriot years, her most recent being our attendance recorder. Liana's Stars and Stripes project implementation built and donated an outdoor classroom garden to Butler Tech Natural Science Center, as you've heard this evening. And this project logged a total of 490.75 hours, with 27 of those hours being Liana's direct supervision of 3 or more youth. Liana obtained many personal references that attest to her character aligned with our mission statement, Oath and Creed. She submitted both a resume and spiritual walk essay before successfully passing her Stars and Stripes Board of Review. Her other AHG accomplishments include a total of 103 merit badges, over 700 hours of community service, 5 Gold Presidential Service Awards for volunteerism, 3 Religious Recognition Awards, sports pins with participation disc in both tennis and bowling, a Silver Level Sunset Camp Sash Award for leadership, 10 years participation in the AHG Pen Pal program, 10 years attendance of father-daughter dances, 5 Hugs Patches Joining Award, Sacagawea, Lewis and Clark, Harriet Tubman, wherein she and her AHG friend Emiliana Doty worked together to plan a multi-troop camping event called Horse Crazy, and Dolly Madison Level Award with a multi-troop event called the Mother-Daughter Dance Party. Therefore, as the charter representative for Troop Ohio 3124 here at North Cincinnati Community Church, per the rules and regulations of AHG Stars and Stripes procedures, I certify that Emiliana Lynne Bohrer has completed all requirements to receive the honor of being named a Stars and Stripes recipient.
Mrs. Bingham and Liana, will you please come forward? Beth Bingham is our troop's vice coordinator, and we could not do anything without her. She is amazing. She served as our troop's Stars and Stripes leadership coordinator.
Okay. I have been asked to charge you with the responsibility of your Stars and Stripes Award. On behalf of our troop, its board, leaders, girl members, in agreement with your family and friends, I challenge you to accept the responsibility of a Stars and Stripes recipient. As a Stars and Stripes recipient, you are called to a higher level of service, leadership, and honor. You have learned to apply the American Heritage Girls Oath and Creed. May it forever be a part of your moral compass. You have learned that true leadership takes a servant's heart. Others will follow your example. We charge you to take the AHG Oath and Creed with you into your future, to take the lessons of your past accomplishments and apply them. From this day forward, you have entered an elite group, having earned the highest honor of AHG. You will experience situations and opportunities throughout your life to utilize the life skills and precepts learned from your time as a Tender Heart through Stars and Stripes recipient. We ask you to take full responsibility for continuing to live out AHG's Oath and Creed in a way that will encourage those who witness your life to desire to follow in your footsteps. Do you accept this challenge?
I do. I don't know anything.
I would like to invite the AHG Stars and Stripes recipients who are in attendance to please come forward to issue the Stars and Stripes oath.
Leanna, as you accept this challenge issued by Mrs. Birmingham to confirm your promise and join us as official Stars and Stripes recipient, please raise your right hand and repeat after us. I affirm my promise to live the American Heritage Girls Oath.
I affirm my promise to live the American Heritage Girls Oath.
To love God.
To love God.
Cherish my family.
Cherish my family.
Honor my country.
Honor my country.
And serve in my community.
And serve in my community. I take on the responsibility of Stars and Stripes Award. I take on the responsibility of the Stars and Stripes Award.
On my honor,
On my honor,
I will do my best
I will do my best
to be an example to others.
to be an example to others.
To use my influence.
To use my influence.
To promote the values of AHG to others.
To promote values to AHG others.
And with God's help,
And with God's help.
to live as a woman of integrity.
With God, wait.
To live
To
as
live as a woman of integrity.
Welcome, sisters. Welcome, Sister Stars and Stripe recipient.
Liana, your parents have been a primary source of help and strength as you have made your way through your American Heritage Girls journey. We ask them to come forward to the podium, and I believe they are going to share a message.
Well, I will let Liana do most of this, but I would be remiss to not say thank you to everybody that's here tonight. We're truly humbled and blessed and honored for you taking this time out and sharing in this accomplishment with her and with us. And I would also like to thank Mrs. Johnson for not throwing away my notes. I just wanted to take a few minutes to speak for Rhonda and I about our journey through American Heritage Girls and just what we've experienced and some of the things that we've gone through over the past, 12 years. And it's hard to believe we say that, and I know most of you that have older kids know that. It's like you blink, and all of a sudden they're a senior, and they're graduating from high school, and they're getting these major awards. So this is great, Liana. Flashback 12 years ago, roughly, Rhonda and I, after Liana came along, had always felt to have her be involved in something outside of the house, some kind of extracurricular activity or activities. And so, for us, as with a lot of parents, I think it was a little bit of trial and error. It's kind of like, okay, does this work? What does this look like? What does this look like? And I mean, we were talking about this, and I don't know exactly when we came across AHG, but at some point or another, we looked at it and we talked with some folks, and, there were a lot of things that kind of resonated with us and clicked. There was the art and craft component, the camping, sports, a little bit of everything. And we thought, what, this could be something. We'll see. We'll try it. So, I think in hindsight, we don't do everything perfect, but I think it was a pretty good decision looking back on it now over 12 years. For us, and I think about, the things that you've heard and some of you that may not know as much about American Heritage Girls, but, there's kind of 4 foundational pillars, and that's love God, cherish family, honor country, and serve in my community. And we've been blessed and able to do all of those over the course of the past 12 years of Liana being in AHG. It's been a wonderful companion for our faith and for our belief in God and the things there. As someone mentioned, Liana's received 3 religious pins, and that's helped her to, as part of that process, she's explored her faith. She's learned more about the Lord. She's grown in her relationship, learned more about what we believe and why we believe it, and what it means to be a child of God, and as she gets older, what that means to be a godly lady. I think that it's also been a good place in AHG and in the troops that we've been in and been blessed to be a part of, that she's had peers. I think, I'm sure this wasn't me that thought it, but a lot of people say, look around at the 10 people closest to your child, and that's who they really are. And, as far as that is concerned, AHG's been wonderful. We've been blessed, and Liana's been blessed to have a lot of people that have made this walk with us. Cherishing family, it's been a wonderful opportunity for us as a family. What the thing that I thought earlier today is we were blessed to, we brought Liana to American Heritage Girls. We didn't just send her and have them be a daycare or a sitter. At its heart, this obviously is about girls and women, and so it's a mom and daughter thing, at its core. But AHG has been so welcoming for us as a family. I'm thankful we've been through, goodness, someone said 10 father-daughter dances, from the Japanese cherry blossom to dressing up like Chewbacca to the 50s and the poodle skirt and all that kind of stuff. So it's been fun, and it's been a place for us as a family. And the camping, we probably had, goodness, dozens of s'mores. And then, for those of us that are not camping oriented, let's say, that want to go back to the electric and running water, we've had our chances to do that as well. So, and the other thing I think I would say, and I say this with as much humility as I can, that AHG has been a place for all of us. Our very anxious greeter that most of you met coming in, we've always felt blessed that AJ was, part of the troop. And we appreciate the welcoming and the environment that we've had for, whether it's children of any kind and even those with needs. So it's been a wonderful place for our family. As far as honoring the country, I mean, you see the red, white, and blue all around you here. You saw the flag ceremony. You see the everything that we do to recognize our country. There's been so many different opportunities. I know that you guys have laid wreaths at graves before, and you've done things on Veterans Day and Memorial Day, being in parades and everything like that. So it's really been great from that standpoint as well. And I know that he couldn't be here tonight, but Mr. Wong, one of our trustees, shared about what it was to become a citizen, and especially someone that was born in another country that became a citizen. So it's something that's really helped, us connect and Liana connect with really what it means to be an American. And lastly is serving in the community, and that's something that I've just been overwhelmed with myself a little bit, to see all the opportunities that there are for Liana, and they've been out there, but the bottom line is too, she's taken advantage of them. I mean, Ron and I have not pushed her too much. We've pushed her some, of course, but a lot of these, it's been her decision and her choice to do these things. And I think I'm going to miss a lot of them, but Operation Christmas Child, Cookies for Kairos, Matthew 25, A Child's Hope, just to name a few. There's just been so many things to do in the community, and it's just been wonderful for us. I'm not trying to be a commercial for AHG. I just want to share a little bit about our journey though as a family and what it's been over the past 12 years. I mean, we truly have been blessed to be a part of this organization, and for the last 6 years to be a part of this troop, and you guys have been wonderful. I think about her Stars and Stripes being almost kind of like a summary of what AHG has encapsulated, over the years. I mean, this was a spiritual walk. It was a prayer walk. It was God providing what we needed when we needed it, and it grew. I know Liana, and it grew all of us in our faith, and we saw Him provide, and we thank Him for that. It was also a family affair. We all got out there, and even Dad got his hands dirty a little bit, I think, right? So, making her project, it was just a really good time for us to bond together as a family. And from a community standpoint, we do hope, our hope and desire and prayer is that this will be something, the garden, that it will benefit the Science Center and others, and that it will be a blessing and something that will enhance the community for years to come. So it's been wonderful, and I think I would say too, as we came through this, just our troop and all the support and the encouragement that we had from them as well. I mean, the yard sale, I think every single one of you girls took part in that in some way, shape, or form, and I remember seeing you out there, and I just it was so impressive to see the troop come together to truly serve in the community. For Liana's journey, this is just it's a wonderful night, and it's an end in some ways, but it's a beginning in others. She's learned a lot of things, and by extension, Ron and I have as well, about American Heritage Girls and about what it really means to love God and honor your country and serve in your community and cherish your family. But I would say, just in kind of closing this little piece of it out, when we were going through this, and there were some tough times, it wasn't always easy. It was that roller coaster. There were some ups and downs in that. And I know on at least a couple occasions, we had a heart-to-heart with Leon, and we said, do you really want to do this? You can hit the ejector button anytime if you want to on this, And she said no. She said, this is my choice. I want to do this. And, that's really what life and serving God and others is about. It's about making choices. And you've chosen to do the things that are required to be a Stars and Stripes recipient. And your mom and I are so pleased and so blessed to see this come to pass. But, it's just the start of now the next part of your life. And you're going to have other choices that are put in front of you as well. Think about what the word says in Joshua. He said, choose you this day who you will serve. It's a choice. And you chose to go through the trials and the troubles to get the stars and stripes. And now you stand up here blessed. But there's going to be other choices that you have. And you know what? Your mom and I are going to be here for you the whole time. And hopefully we've learned a few lessons and we'll take those with us. But our prayer and hope is that you've learned those lessons as well, too. And you apply those to your life. And if you do that, you know what? You will be blessed. And the people in this place will be blessed as well. So I would just like to say, well done. We're very pleased with everything that you've accomplished. And I think your mom has a little something for you. Oh, I have a little something for you? Okay. It is my honor to present this to you.
Liana, your father placed the Stars and Stripes medallion around your neck. May it signify your constant devotion to AHG ideals. From this day forward, your AHG uniform should include your Stars and Stripes award badge. Wear it with dignity and pride, for it marks you as one of a very select group of women. As both Liana's mother and Patriot Unit leader, Rhonda, will you please place the Stars and Stripes award badge on Liana's uniform? Ladies and gentlemen, without crying, it gives me great pleasure to present to you Emiliana Lynne Bohrer, the 836th Stars and Stripes recipient, the 89th recipient from the great state of Ohio, and the 4th recipient from Troop Ohio 3124. I think you get to stay here for some award. Just stay. We are thankful that we have dignitaries in attendance today. From the United States House of Representatives, serving Ohio's District 8, I introduce Representative Warren Davidson's staff, Mr. Ben Thaler.
Well, good evening, everyone, and good evening, Liana. I am so proud and honored to be able to join you tonight. Congressman Davidson is very sorry that he couldn't be here. But, as we travel around the 8th Congressional District, we get to meet with leaders from industry, education, government, all levels of leadership. And one of the common things that we hear from folks is that either they regret that they didn't finish the things that they committed to when they were young adults, whether that's scouting or American Heritage or becoming a varsity athlete, or for the very few, that was a formative time in their life that they made a goal, as Patty had referenced, that it was an internal goal, something that they valued themselves. And they saw it through and they accomplished what they were seeking. and that those experiences really formed them and made them into the successful people that they became. And I know that you will succeed, Liana, in whatever you decide to do, because you have this foundation. But you also have a network in this room of some of the most influential people in our state, in our community, and in our country, and they all have your back. Congressman Davidson, he asked that I present this flag to you. It's one of the greatest honors that we have as a team, is presenting flags that have flown over our nation's capital. But he also asked that I personally extend an invitation for you to join him for a tour of the Capitol when we reopen our nation's capital for visitors. So I would like to present this to you, Liana. This flag was flown over the United States Capitol on October 12th, 2021, in your honor. Thank you.
From the state of Ohio Senate, serving Ohio's 4th senatorial district, and from the state of Ohio House of Representatives, serving Ohio's 52nd district, please welcome Senator George Lang and Representative Jennifer Gross.
Thank you. It is with a high degree of enthusiasm, excitement, and motivation that we are here tonight to honor Liana. And thanks to all of you for being here for this great honor as well. My speech is going to be short. Jenny, you took a lot of what I was going to talk about the project that she did. Dave, you spoke about her legacy. What powerful words. And Patty, you did a great job speaking about American Heritage Girls, and all the research I've done on it, I don't need to say a thing, because you did such a great job. So I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about Liana and what an amazing accomplishment she has done. Liana, you are a very powerful individual, but you didn't do this by yourself. Look at this amazing team you have here. Your sisters you have, your mom, your dad, your brother AJ. I've never seen AJ without a big smile on his face. But just know, as powerful and amazing as you are, when you have a team, you can do so much more. And to choose Llewellyn as your mentor. Llewellyn, I've come to know and love you as an amazing being. I met Llewellyn. She was working very hard during one of my early political campaigns. I've never seen anyone work harder than Llewellyn during that political campaign. She was working for my opponent. But during that campaign, we got to know each other, and a bond grew. And she didn't slow down. She didn't stop in her efforts to help my opponent, but we became dear friends. And every time I see what you do to the community, more and more, my love and my appreciation for you just grows higher and higher. And Liana, I want you to know that mankind is tridimensional. We are physical, we are mental, and we are spiritual. And I'm here to tell you, from a physical perspective, by God, you are designed for accomplishment. From a mental perspective, you are engineered for success. And from a spiritual perspective, you are endowed with the seeds of greatness. And what you've done with your American Heritage Girl, you have taken those seeds, they have fertilized them, they have watered them, and I can't wait to watch them sprout and see the impact that you are going to have on the world for the next 40 years to come. I do have a proclamation from the Senate, and I have a flag. I'm just going to read what's on the back, and I'll let our representative present the flag to you. It says, "This state of Ohio flag was flown at the Ohio State House on Liana's Forever Family Day of November 8, 2021, in honor of being named AHG's 89th Stars and Stripe recipient from the great state of Ohio." Jennifer?
Liana, what an amazing, amazing accomplishment. Thank you guys for allowing me to be part of the ceremony today. You know, Liana, those of you who know me know I need to do notes because like Mr. Helms, I might talk a little longer, right, if I don't stay on. I think maybe you said that. But you have truly blessed our community. Not only have you blessed our community of Westchester and beyond, but you have blessed the state of Ohio. And I know that through your leadership, your perseverance, that you've learned life lessons that all of your troop and all the other Stars and Stripes recipients have seen. You have learned the stick-to-itiveness to not quit. And that's going to serve you very well in life. But it's my honor, my great honor, to remind you as well that you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. And I know that you have learned that through this. It's my great honor to present you a plaque from Speaker Bob Cupp, the Ohio House of Representatives, and myself, Jennifer Gross, the certificate from the Ohio House of Representatives. So thank you very much.
Now we'd like to welcome Chief Rick Prinz from the Westchester Township Fire Department.
Good afternoon, good evening. What a tremendous honor it is to be here with all of you tonight as we celebrate Liana and her tremendous accomplishments. You know, my daughter is grown. She's 27, about to be married later this year. Learning about AHG, American Heritage Girls, I certainly would have loved for her to be part of such a wonderful organization. Tonight, as I listened to your oath and to your creed, very impressive. And you've certainly embodied that oath and that creed and have really taken that to heart. And I think as I listen to that creed, those are all words that we can all live by as citizens and as Americans and as we serve our communities. The creed, I especially loved. The part about service to your community, near and dear to my heart, because I've served our community for a very long time, 32 years in Westchester. But your service to the community is what we're here about tonight. And we're very thankful for you, and we are humbled by you and your accomplishments. And we know that you will go on to serve the community and to do great things, not only for this community, but the state and the country. So it is with great honor and privilege that the Westchester Fire Department would like to recognize you, Liana, for your accomplishments and award you with this plaque for your accomplishments. Congratulations. A job well done. And I have two other things here for you. Colonel Herzog, our police chief, could not be here tonight because he was feeling ill. But he wanted me to present to you this challenge coin. And this is a Westchester Police Department challenge coin. And it's the Chief's Award coin. And he wanted you to know that in his tenure as police chief for the last 10 years or so, he's only given 4 of these away. So this is a very special award, not only for his department and his men in his department, but in the community. This is a very distinguished award that I would like to present to you on his behalf. Congratulations. And the last thing I have for you is also a Westchester Township Challenge coin. And this is to remind you about service to your community. We are hiring, so if you would like to put in an application, we could really use some good firefighters. Congratulations. Well done.
Many of you know that Liana has been a Lakota West student beginning in her kindergarten year. Not only will she be graduating with honors from Lakota West, but she will also be graduating with 2 years as a Butler Tech student. Please welcome Butler Tech Superintendent John Graft and Lakota Local School Board representatives, Vice President Isaac Addy and Kelly Casper.
I obviously am not John Graff. So one of the things we've heard about tonight is family. And unfortunately, he had a last-minute family obligation that he had to take care of. So one of the things that we are going to make him do is he wanted me to send us congratulations, but then also to tell you that when we do have the dedication on campus, you're going to make him get his hands dirty. So you're going to make him play in the dirt. So he will be there for that to make sure that when we put that first plan in the ground, that he is right there with you. Okay? Thank you. Thank you.
Liana, do you have any closing words?
I'm so short that I need to adjust the microphone. Alrighty. I just want to thank Miss Garibay and every AHG employee that's here, along with leaders. There are many things that I enjoyed while I was in AHG. I specifically enjoyed camping, because who doesn't? And lock-ins. So I'm also glad that I made a lot of new friends through troops, like this troop that I'm in right now. I've had so many new friends, and through camps and special events and programs like the Pen Pal program, which is why my best friend from Michigan came down. Through my Stars and Stripes project, I've learned that working with others and scheduling times with people is a lot more complicated than it looks. COVID definitely impacted my project in so many ways, to basically prices raising to me just not finding things, period. It definitely gave me a chance to practice being perseverant. It was definitely the most critical point when it came to being successful with my project. So I want to just thank everybody who volunteered to help me, especially the charger and the girls and leaders and families and my troops, and our adult leaderships. I'm sorry if I'm buffering a lot. I get the anxiety, so sorry for this. But I'm just so glad for this troop, because every single one of you helped me on my project. So I'm very thankful for all of you. And I just want to thank Miss Johnson and her family for letting me steal their house yard for my garage sale. Mom, can you help me with gifts? So as a token of my appreciation, will you please keep these items we made for the candle ceremony, the oath ceremony, and and this rolled up path to use for your leveling award ceremonies. So. And also, thank you, Mrs. Back, for painting the path and putting together the crates for me. Thank you so much, wherever you are. I don't know. I also wouldn't have been able to fund my project without the generosity of Ambassador Free Will Baptist Church congregation and AHG Troop AHG Troop Ohio 0316 and Trail Life Troop Ohio 0520, as well as the congregation of the Ark by the River Fellowship. Thank you for being there for me. Mom, can you take the letters to the congregation? Oh, can Sister Angie and Pastor Luthi please raise their hands so we know where you are? Alrighty. I also want to thank the businesses who donated their services and time, especially Star Storage, who let me use their donated storage space for my garage sale items. 2 men in a truck who donated their time to help me transport my items to the garage sale location. And One Way Farm Ministries, who took pretty much everything that we had left to use for their ministry. I'm also grateful to have such a supporting family at NSC. My teachers were very supportive of me and helped me through my project by giving me instructions and consideration points. Mr. Helms, will you please come up here with me? I didn't realize you didn't like me that much, okay? I want to thank you for all you did for me. You shared your knowledge, gave me ideas and direction. You connected me to many people who were able to support my project. Will you please accept this gift? My mom and I made you a vermicomposter, complete with wed wrigglers and care instructions. We wish you many years of happy gardening. Thank you. Mr. and Mrs. Doty and Jalen, can you please come up here? Mrs. Doty, thank you for being my mentor for my project and supporting me and helping me with the writing. That was definitely the one thing that you definitely kept me on track of. And Mr. Doty, thank you for donating almost all your time with helping me put up the fence. And without you, I don't know what I could have done, since I'm not a fence builder at all. Thank you very much. And then Jalen, you get a very special thank you because you came to every single one of my workday. And you were always happy to be there no matter what, even if it was like insanely cold, you were still there with a smile on your face. You were definitely the blessing for me. Will you please accept these gifts? And then, Mom and Dad, can you please come up here? I lost my notes to this letter that I written to you, but, oh. Excuse me for my embarrassment. Okay. I'm overjoyed when saying this. Thank you. Thank you for your support of me and my project, for your love and help through praying and helping physically and keeping me sane throughout the whole entire project. Thank you very much. And I present to you the parent pins.
Will the flag color guard please reassemble? Before we go, again, I still have the microphone, so come here, Liana. As I said, she announced in 4th grade she was going to accomplish this. And the Stars and Stripes candidate that you helped in 4th grade, do you remember?
Yes.
That girl probably had no idea the impact she would have on this young lady's life. But furthermore, you may have no idea what impact that you've had with this accomplishment. We have girls from Tenderheart level all the way up sitting here tonight. We have younger girls who have yet to start any journey, hopefully in AHG. And seeing what you've accomplished, you have no idea what seeds you may have planted in their lives to one day be standing in a similar ceremony. So I look forward to that, and I hope that when that day comes, they will remember your name as the inspiration for their journey. So now you can. Thank you all for coming and participating in Liana's Court of Honor. After the closing flag ceremony, you are invited to stay for light refreshments. And if you've seen them, they're amazing. They don't look light at all. And it's like dinner. And it's all thanks to Mrs. Bohrer, single-handedly. Very almost single-handedly. Other Bohrer women too. But she has done an amazing spread, so please stay. And several display tables are also available in the hallways, and we encourage anyone who wants to view those displays, as well as this dignitary commendation table, both of these, to do so at any time during the reception.
Audience, please rise for the retiring of the flags. Color guard, attention. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, retire the colors. Return to ranks. Troop salute. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Pastor May, will you come for the benediction and closing prayer?
Would you pray with me? Our Father in heaven, we give you praise, for you created all things, and by your will, all things were created. We praise you, Jesus, because you died, and with your blood you purchased a people for yourself from every tribe and tongue and people and nation. We praise you, Holy Spirit, that this very hour you are applying to our hearts that we really do belong to you by faith. And Father, we praise you tonight for the ministry of AHG and for all the work that this ministry has done in the lives of so many women. We specifically give you praise for Liana and for her life as a testimony to your grace. We pray tonight that she would feel celebrated by all her friends and all her family, but more importantly, that she would feel celebrated by you, the one who rejoices over her with singing because of Christ. Would you continue to bless her and make her to be a blessing, that every day for the rest of her life that she might cling to you, King Jesus, and that she might know that she is an instrument in the hands of the Redeemer, that she might make much of you, and that she might know that she is here to display your glory and to declare the excellencies of him who called her out of darkness into your marvelous light. For it's in Christ and we pray. Amen. Would you receive the Lord's benediction from number 6? May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you his peace. Go in peace. Amen.
Audience, this ends today's ceremony. Thank you for joining us.